Alrighty, we should be back up now. Stream's running. And I have actually sent out all my broadcasts and told people about this stream. So, why not begin? I am ready. Are you ready? I've done a few changes to today's stream. One of them is that I have added a golden frame, which kind of looks about as close to the original Ultima Online colors as I could get. And I've also added a question of the day, because I think that might actually kick this stream into motion. And maybe I should start by talking about my fondest memory in any MMO. And the weird thing is, though, even though I've written the question and thought about the answer, I really don't have a specific moment in any MMO that I would say this is my fondest memory. I mean, I have memories of playing this game where I went to the dungeon with the dragons and killed a bunch of dragons, and for me that was very exciting, and I would hide in the corner on my bard character, which would then use musicianship to make the monsters attack each other, and then I would go and skin the dragons and turn their hides into leather bustiers, and I was like, yeah, time to go back to the store and sell it all and earn loads of money and stuff, which I really never did, because I didn't know at the time, but the vendors had a maximum limit of gold, so I could only sell, I think, about 2,000 gold worth of leather bustiers, and then they would be like, I no longer wish to buy from you. And at the time I hadn't really figured out that you could make your own vendor. Hey, Merble! Yeah, you're right, but, you know, I figure everyone can tell their story if they want to, so you're welcome to wait and tell the question later if you want to. Sorry, not tell the question, but answer the question later if you want to. Or you can tell it now and maybe think of something else later. Hey, Merble, and welcome to the channel. Greetings to you as well. Let's open the bank and get some money deposited. I went to a place where there were a bunch of mobs, and they actually had fairly interesting loot, but they hit really hard, so I had to run away again, like a chicky. I don't really know what this is, the primitive fetish. It says it's blessed, and I don't know, I guess I could double click it and see what happens. Nothing. Okay. And these maps I tend to just dump in the chest here for points. Let's see what I get. Ooh, 100 points. I'm now up to 17,000. One of the things I found out that you can buy with these points is the earrings that I'm wearing. The Nocturne earrings basically gives you permanent night sight, so I can see. Yeah. Actually, I have two primitive fetishes. I'm not really sure what you do with them. I guess I could Google it, but in the meantime, it just goes in the bank, and we'll take it from there. Primitive fetish goes into this bag, I think. No idea if it's good or bad, or what it actually is. But yeah, it seems like the place where I was at had a fairly high concentration of loot. In about 5 mobs, I got 2 or 3 Slayer weapons, which was kind of interesting. So I might go back there. It's just that the monsters are a little bit dangerous. So if I die, I'll have to run back. It's a long run, because there weren't any healers nearby, but it had a named mob in there, and someone told me that it had a high chance of dropping artifacts, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, back to the daily question, it's just one of these things where when you've played many MMOs, you can't really... So now I'm overpowered? I don't know, maybe. A little bit. I'll give it a try. I'm able to kill some stuff in there. Well, I mean, the Slayer weapons that I found aren't really that good. They weren't for the skills that I would want to use. Hang on a sec, I'll head to Trinsic. You see there's a Slayer weapon for trolls, there's a Slayer weapon for earth elementals, and the last one didn't really do anything. Using a Slayer weapon will give you 300% damage increase towards that type of enemy. Most of the weapons I use are Super Slayers, which means they hit more than one category of enemies. Like this one is called an Elemental Slayer, so it will hit Earth Elementals, Air Elementals, Poison Elementals, any type of Elemental, even the mud thingies in Shame. But it only, quote unquote, it only hurts them for 200% extra damage, which is good, no doubt about it. But it really makes a difference if you're going for a boss. Then you'd want a specific Slayer for that type of boss. For the place that I'm going now, I'll be using my Repond Slayer, which is for humanoids. I'm actually wearing it now, I think. Yeah. Repond Slayer. It says your weapon will cause double damage to all creatures affected by Repond Slayer, and then I get double damage by undeads. But there weren't any undeads in there, so that's fine. Let's see, I actually need to go north and find a bridge. If you look at the minimap, the bridge is... oh, right there. Never mind, no need to look at the minimap. I was really close. So let's head west. It's a teeny tiny dungeon. There's a bear, and there is a boss thing, and then a bunch of monsters. Once I get in here, you'll see these troglodytes. Oh, bear's already attacking me. Get away from me, evil bear. I have to be careful with my mana. I'm not really getting a lot of mana back. Oh, and that bear just hurts. And his friend. See? I already changed my mind. I don't want to go in there. I'll get killed. It all went really fast, but basically what happened is that the bear attacked me and his master also attacked me, which was a named guy, one of those monsters. Instead, I think we'll go to Shame. I'll equip my Elemental Slayer and click my rune book for Shame. We'll go in there, because then I'll be able to make some money. It's not going to be as fast-paced or stressful. And then, if you want to, you can tell me your fondest memory from an MMO. Assuming you have one. Because, you know, there are people out there who just never had fun in an MMO, which, you know, that's fair enough. See, this is an Elemental Slayer, and it really hurts these guys. I'll press my number 2 key, which is Whirlwind, and it'll just go and kill them all really fast. Hopefully. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of these streams where if we have some Australian viewers, they'll be able to pop on and have a look without having to stay up really late, because my normal streaming hour is I think it's about 4 AM Australian time or 3 AM. So this weekend stream's gonna be a bit of a late one for Aussies, an early one for us Europeans, and a super early one for the Americans. They probably haven't even gone to bed. Actually, they might have. Unless they stay up at 4 AM, which it is right now on the West Coast. I've gained a little karma. And there's Miranda, running past me on some sort of skeletal mount. That's also one of the things I really enjoy about this game. The level of diversity in the mounts is... ooh, a blue item. That's a relic. The level of diversity in the mounts is really cool. I like that some guy's riding a horse and others riding a beetle and someone's riding a a dragon or something similar. For Merble, his fondest memory was in Ragnarok Online. Doesn't have a single memory, but the guild he was in was very, very nice. Had 2 specific friends and talked every day. Spoke via TeamSpeak, which, for those who don't know, is it's a program for the computer that lets you speak with your voice in a microphone to people. And that's cool. I really enjoy that too. When I play an MMO, I very, very, very rarely join a guild if they don't have voice chat. And I haven't really joined a guild in ages because I'm currently connected to one of the biggest MMO guilds in my country. And I have many, many friends there, so I'm not really keen on moving or switching or trying something different. So I'm sticking with them. They're good people. Merble says he often sat in the city and didn't kill anything nor quest, just talked the whole day. Yeah, that's what makes it. That's when you realize that you're now playing a game to be with other people rather than just playing a computer game. And that's what MMOs, in my opinion, really should be all about. You know, when you have that feeling of having friendships online and meeting people, doing stuff that's good fun. Oh, I have to be careful today. My camera is kind of blinking in and out color-wise, and that affects the webcam because the clouds are constantly overshadowing and then not, and then overshadow and not. But that will soon be fixed because I've been out looking at a couple of new lamps that I want to place in here, so it won't be as dark. Oh, boring loot. Hello, King Wizard! Welcome to the channel. I know you have played an MMO, so let's hear. What is your fondest memory in an online game? And actually, you can talk about the coolest memory you had in a game like League of Legends, because I know you've played that. Unless my memory is completely woogie. Let's not rule out that possibility. Ooh, I just managed to honor this mob, which is good. It's going to increase my damage bonus and give me some honor when he dies. And Merble says, most times I don't want to meet new people, and I'm not that much of a communicating person, and voice chat is even worse, but, well, the situation those days just fits. That's good. Yeah, I think it's also a matter of practice. I mean, a lot of people don't want to use voice chat, but after a while you get used to it, and generally people don't really care if someone speaks with a different accent or have trouble with the language. Overall, you know, you'll be able to communicate with each other. And King Wizard says, running dungeons with friends, definitely. And then he says League of Legends has the worst community in history. And, you know what? I would agree with you if I had never played Heroes of Newerth or Dota 1. But I have. And also I have played Darkfall. So, I know for a fact that League of Legends does not have the worst community. But it's up there. It's definitely up there. Darkfall Online had the craziest community I have ever experienced. People were so mean-spirited. Even the developers were mean-spirited. If you gave them constructive feedback and said, this feature in this game does so-and-so, and I'm not really sure it's a good idea for the game, it might be a bit too harsh for players, the developers would basically say, well, then you're not the right person to play this game, you should leave. And we did. all of us, and the game didn't really have that much success, sadly. But that's what you get for not speaking nicely to your players. Marble thinks his English is bad. I disagree. You have your dictionary, you're doing fine. And you know what? You don't really need to have perfect English to communicate on the internet. And if there are any problems and people have difficulties talking, then, you know, we'll just have to repeat yourself. It's no big deal. At least not for me. And Marble says, try Unholy Wars. Isn't Unholy Wars, is that an update to Darkfall? And King Wizard continues to try to convince me that that League of Legends has the worst community. He says, trust me, it is. Every game you'll get this. I hope your mother dies of cancer and you get banned from this game forever. Yeah, that sounds pretty much like the community of Heroes of Newerth and Darkfall. Except, the difference is though, in Darkfall, people would then find you, chase you, kill you, loot all your stuff, and tell everyone that you're a loser. And yeah, and the thing is though, King Wizard, I don't even think that it is children. I mean, kids have a tendency to behave badly in MMOs, but adults do it just as often. It's not just a kid thing, because I've played with kids who were age 12-ish or so, up to 14, and they're well behaved if you treat them right, just as every other person on the planet. And then I've played with adults who get a hissy fit and everything is just swearing, and yeah, they get really angry. So I think everyone can behave badly. It's just a matter of, I don't know, respecting each other, and a lot of people don't do that anymore in MMOs. But luckily people do that in this game, at least from what I've noticed. Everyone's really nice and friendly. Like earlier today I went into a little cave and I got myself killed, and the guy who was there stayed and helped me until I could get my corpse. You know, and in Darkfall Online, people would have waited until they could loot everything from my corpse and then leave. You know, they wouldn't actually help with anything, so... Yeah, and the community in the Secret World, as Marble says, that's also a really friendly community. You're right. I agree. And yeah, Marble says that Unholy Wars is Darkfall 2.0. And, yeah. King Wizard says, the struggle of finding the perfect community. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, you can't really find a perfect community, because you'll find that some people want one thing and other people want another. But I think for me, the PvE community of Ultima Online is definitely among my favorite communities. People are just so friendly here. Very, very friendly. I don't know if it's in any way linked to the fact that I'm a streamer, and most of the time when I meet them, they know that they'll be on live cam, and they don't want to look like complete bungholes in front of the whole world. I mean, it might be. That could be the reason. But I prefer to think that people here are just really nice and friendly people. At least that's my experience. And yeah, I totally agree with what Marble says. He says most of those little communities have a chance for a better one. And I absolutely agree. The smaller the community is, the easier it is to moderate it. And also, the smaller the community is, the higher the chances are that the people that are staying and playing the game want what's best for the game. And, you know, they all know that you can't chase away new players by being a retard. Yeah, King Wizard says the same. He says, I get the feeling that if the community is small, it's a lot better. And it is, from my experience anyway. And I think that's also why I've, in the past few years, I've actually played more and more of the little person's games, rather than, you know, just sticking with indie games rather than playing gigantic games, because Why won't it work on this guy? He's probably stuck in a wall. It just feels like when you're playing the smaller games, you have more of a connection to the developers as well. Just overall more friendly and I guess more giving, you know, because like I said earlier, you want the game to succeed, so the people who are playing the game will really do a lot of work to try to make you enjoy it when you're a new player. And that's also one of the challenges, because I mean, I found that when I played MMOs, I would often spend a lot of time trying to get people to enjoy the game, and then, you know, they'd quit after not very long, which is normal for those people. It just kind of, it gets on your nerves after a while when you've tried to make people like a game, and then you spend time and resources getting them to like it, and then after a while they're like, oh, I didn't enjoy it, and they leave, and it's like, no, I wasted my time. Oh, I'm not really hitting anything. Why am I not hitting? There we go. Merble says, will EverQuest Next have a tiny community? Please. Sad face. I'm not sure. I have to admit, I'm guessing the game will have a medium to large community, because a lot of people have reached a point where they've gotten tired of the games that we have right now. They want to try something new, and they've heard about games like EverQuest, and you know, they don't want to play EverQuest, but they want to play that game that everyone talks about, and I think that Ultima Online is going to be one of those games. EverQuest Next is going to be one of those games. It'll be a game that starts out with a massive following, and I think it'll dwindle after a while, but, you know, don't worry. The community in EverQuest games has, in my opinion, always been good. The players are really friendly, and the developers are very, very much into their own game. Yeah, I know, I said Ultima Online. I'm in the game, so I kind of think about that sometimes. It's hard to multitask. And King Wizard says, hey, Ely, that would be me. It would be so much fun if you played some indie horror games sometime. Fun for who? I would poop my pants and you guys would laugh. I guess that would be fun. It might be something we could do someday. I'm not really a fan of playing scary games. I don't even like scary movies. I like zombie movies and stuff where, you know, there's loads of gore, but I'm really, really not a fan of scary games. You have started honorable combat. This guy is kind of nasty. He will, during the fight, he will stun me, so I have to be careful. I just used a spell now that makes me deal a bit of extra damage to him, but I'll also take double damage from other mobs, so I kind of need to get him on my own. And yeah, Merble says, after 20 years, Ultima Online crawls out of the dark to get hyped again. You're right. I mean, if one streamer could do that, that would be awesome, but it's not going to happen. In my world, the game is hyped. I love it. I think it's a great game, but it's not going to be mainstream again. It's going to be a long time before that happens. Yesterday, I played Shroud of the Avatar for about half an hour, and that's the new game from Lord British. I have to admit, I didn't really think it was that great. It has a very, very special combat system where you basically design a deck, sort of like a card game, and your hotbar is then populated by the cards from this deck. So let's say, you know, I pick 3 times Lightning Bolt into my bar, then you upgrade certain skills along the way as you play, which will then make it so that you draw new cards for your hotbar at a faster rate, and you can have a skill that increases the amount of slots that you can have on your hotbar with fixed spells, and they'll cost, I think it's like 4 times as much mana or something like that. I'm not really a fan of that whole randomized kind of thing which that game does. So I don't know if they'll continue with that, but for me it was definitely not a good way to do it. I didn't enjoy it. I played 3 rounds of PvP and I thought, okay, I'm out. I'm not having fun. Yeah. King Wizard, sorry, Merble says he's too scared to play those things, and he hates horror movies and horror games. Yeah. I wouldn't say I hate them, I don't know, I just don't enjoy being startled. My girlfriend loves horror movies. But for me, I'm more into the zombie stuff. And King Wizard says, that's why it would be so much fun. I hope you're one of those people who scream. I'm not. I don't scream. You have to remember, I'm a trained soldier. And yes, I did watch PewDiePie play, and he is fun. It is a lot of fun to watch that man play. But he doesn't even have to scream to be amusing. For me, he's a very, very entertaining person. I think he did a really good job on his YouTube channel. And Merble says, like, over the months when my friends and we met up, we drank something, and then they always wanted me to play Amnesia, and they wanted to watch me play Amnesia. Okay, so what happened, Merble, when you... Ooh. Artifact. Does that mean there's an... Ooh. Interesting. Let's see. So one of these corpses has an artifact, maybe? Sorry, I just got distracted, but that was exciting. Oh, I better kill this guy. There we go. So one of these monsters has an artifact in him, and I, of course, cannot loot it because I'm a schmuck. Let's kill these guys over here and get it sorted. And Merble says he doesn't enjoy watching people play games that are scary. I do. But not because they get scared, just because it's less scary to watch someone else play the game than it is to do it yourself. But yeah, okay, so for 6 months, for more than half a year, they tried to get Merble to play that scary game. I have no idea which one of these is an artifact. It doesn't really say. I'll just check them all out. Is this the one? It's focus time. Focus looting time. What's this? Is this an artifact? No. What about this? No. And this? No. And no. Maybe it's this. Is that a lootable thing? I'm pretty sure that somewhere in here is the corpse of... Oh wait, I can do this. Mud pie corpse. Here it is. Oh, I can't reach it. No! I accidentally made it go away. Ugh. Okay, this is not good advertising for the game, but maybe this is it. There we go. It might be this. No? Is it this? No. What about this? No. Okay, so that was not it. That one. These? Come on. Maybe there weren't anything there. Wasn't anything there. Maybe it's because I looted the item and it went into this bag, and that's why it told me I had an artifact. As far as I know, artifacts have purple names. Oh, it should be down here towards the bottom. So let's see. Anything with a purple name here? Doesn't look like it. I think so. I'm not sure. Maybe it means that one of my artifacts are about to get broken. Nah, these look fine. Oh! Okay. Awesome. It's here. It's because it apparently when it loots an artifact, it gets placed in a different bag. Purple. This is called a Breastplate of Justice from the Virtue Armor set. It has self-repair, and extra resists, and then when you have a full set you get a bunch of extra resists. Okay, so I guess you basically have this item and then you imbue it and it gets more stats, I think? I'm not really sure. I'll have to ask. Sadly, Lord Dar is not going to be here today because he's doing some family-related stuff. But maybe later I'll be able to go to Britain, the Britain in-game, and I can ask some people there what you do with... Oh, here's one. Who's that? Lord Horrendous. He's a nice guy. We can ask him when I make it to the other side where he's at. Yes, it is kind of cool. I mean, that was my first purple item ever. Hey Panda, welcome to the channel. That was very woot-worthy. I got a purple item. Stories will be told of the time when I got a purple item for years and years. Or at least until I get the next purple item. Hello, monster. Let's fight. Ooh, I got an extra skill in anatomy. As some of you super attentive people may have noticed, if you look over here, I now have 0 in the resist spell skill. Why do I have that, you may ask? It is because I bought a soulstone object that I placed in my house. And with that object, I can copy the skill from my character onto the stone, and then I can use it to transfer it to another character on my account if I wanted to. Because I'm not really fighting stuff that needs resisting. And I was also told that the resisting only really affects stuff like curses. And I can cast a spell and then get rid of the curse, so I don't really need the resist spells for now. Which is why I took it away, because that'll leave room for another 100 points of some other skill. And that's awesome. At least I think it is. So that would be my plan. I actually haven't decided yet which skill to get to 100, but I'm thinking it'll be 100 anatomy and then 120 swordsmanship. I'm not sure if it should be 120 tactics yet, but 120 Bushido is something I really want to have. And Panda asks if the purple breastplate has a purple nipple. That's a good question. I don't know. Let's have a look. From what I can tell on the little icon, it looks like it is just gray. Let's try to pull this one off and wear it and see what happens. Oh, that just looks, I don't know, ugly. That's an ugly breastplate. Let's get rid of that one and wear the right one again. There we go. Oh, Horrendous says hi. Oops. Hello. Sorry, I was just busy showing the viewers the the artifact I had just found. The client does look odd. This is because I'm using the enhanced client, and hello Cirist, welcome to the channel. I'm using the enhanced client, but then I changed around, like scaled some of the stuff up and down, and I installed something called Pinko's UI, which allows you to do a little bit more tweaking. But yes, you're absolutely right. If you're used to the classic client, then this looks very, very different, because it's actually not 2D anymore. It's kind of a 3D client. But it's neat. It serves my purposes. I have been thinking about doing a 2D stream at some point, where I play the game with the classic client. This is Ultima Online, Cirist. It is Ultima Online. But it is Ultima Online with the enhanced client that was released by, well, the developers. Gargish Stone Kilt. Don't want that. Actually, I do want that. Let's move away a bit. Horrendous. Lord Horrendous is busy fighting monsters, so I'm gonna go over here and fight some other monsters. I'm in the dungeon called Shame, which has been very, very heavily revamped in the last many years. You've never heard of the enhanced client and you've played for 16 years? Really? Oh. Well, if you like the graphics, then, you know, it's a good client to use. But if some people prefer the original one, it's on their webpage, the enhanced one. It came out when they did, I think it was A Kingdom Reborn or something. That might have been the name of it. I'll definitely look into doing a 2D client stream someday, Panda. But it's not something I'll be able to play every time, because it's probably going to need a lot of setting up so that it suits my needs. You know, I want to make sure that the play area is visible and the stuff that I want to show off is visible. I don't like to have too many things on the screen here. But yeah, if a lot of people request it, I'll definitely look into doing a 2D client stream. But it's not going to happen today, because I'll have to download it and I'll have to make sure that it fits with my streaming software. Oh! Cirrus says, play is a loose term, I guess. I've played for 11 years and paid for an account I don't use for the last 5. Oh. Yeah. So, any particular reason why you stopped playing? Because I kind of know the reason why you still pay for it. That's to get the veteran bonuses and stuff, I'm assuming. But how come you're not playing it anymore? And that was Cirrus, by the way, who said that. Oh, sorry. Eye is itching. Scusi? But yeah, it is kind of interesting because I have a few friends in here in Ultima Online who have they've logged onto the stream and they said that they couldn't recognize themselves, which I never really thought about it. You know, I'm seeing the game like this every day. They've never seen it before, and they were like, "My character does not look like that. What game is this?" You know, which was sort of the same reaction as Cirrus had. Oh, I see. Cirrus says all his friends basically made him quit the game. He followed them to another game and they all quit, so now he plays Magic the Gathering and League of Legends. That's cool. I have a friend who plays Magic the Gathering, or at least she did. After a very, very short while, she was complaining that she had already finished all the stuff in it. And I don't know. I guess Magic the Gathering is one of these games where you play it, but at some point you'll reach the peak where you have the cards you want, and then you have to fight other people for more fun. Oh, I could summon a boss. I think I'll do that, actually. I looted a Crystal of Shame, and then when you double click it, you get a point of shame, or a point for shame, which means I now have 11 points. I don't know if you guys could hear that in the background. If you are currently watching a football match, then I'm assuming that one of the teams just won. And judging by her squealing sound, I'm guessing it was her team, which is Tottenham. But we'll find out. I'm not exactly sure, Merble. Merble is asking, aren't you battling other people every time in Magic the Gathering? And, well, let's ask Cirrus. He knows. He's playing it. As far as I understood, there was some playing against bots, and then the champion accepts your challenge. You have 1 hour to find and defeat him. Well, let's find him. Quartz Elemental, so he's probably up here, maybe. Let's see. Yep, here he is. Let's kick his butt. Oh, I'm too far away. Woo. So Cirrus says, there's a Duels of the Planeswalker game and 2 standalone games, as well as the collect card game thing. I see. Oh man, that boss is really fast. Hopefully I'll get him down fast. Yeah, I am. Ching ching. He's gonna go down. Oh, I might be referring to... Well, actually, the game that she was talking about was... it was the 2015 edition of the game. It came out very recently, and she came onto the stream here, and she told me, you know, I've been waiting for this game. 2 days later, it came out, and she was like, I waited, and it was so easy. Stupid game. Was, you know, I'm only paraphrasing, but that was kind of her reaction. Ooh, this guy had 2 good items. Apparently there's a chance that he can drop really super cool stuff, but I don't know. I've never actually seen him drop super cool stuff. I still kill monsters down here though to collect the charm thingies, so I can get points and then summon him and challenge him. So far, I've only seen him spawn up there, but I don't know if he can actually spawn in other locations. I don't think I'll be able to get another 9 points by the end of this stream. Also, I don't really think I'm gonna stay here for that long. Oh, I see. Cirrus says the 2015 version of Duels was a letdown compared to the 2013 and the 2014. That's a shame. I mean, especially with a game like Magic the Gathering, you know, you have a lot of people playing it on a really high level, and the game just needs to do well. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to be able to do a next version of it. And it's a shame, because I like it when we see new games that are different from what we're used to seeing. So games like Magic the Gathering kind of, I don't know, there's just a little piece of my heart that wants that game to always succeed. Even though I've never really played it myself. I like collecting the cards, I like to put them in a binder, I hated to play with them. And Cirrus asks me, do you PvP any? I have to admit I don't. The closest thing to PvP that I've experienced in this game after I came back a week ago was last time I was streaming. The viewers... Oops, I forgot what I actually looted. The viewers told me to go to Feluca, which is the PvP fraction, or the facet. And I went there and I saw a red guy and I almost pooped my pants. Which is silly, because my gear is insured. It's not gonna disappear if I get killed. I'm just such a wuss. I'm really very much a wuss. I love the PvE aspect of things, and I don't know, there's just not... I don't really have that drive to go out and kill other people in the game. I don't know, I'd rather help them or talk to them. So every time I see red names, I'm like, ugh, evil people. I get scared. I'm a wuss. I know. It's bad. Oh, so Cirrus wants to become a Hearthstone pro. Yeah, it seems to me like you need to do a lot of grinding in those games, and I guess it's also because there are so many people playing them. You know, that also makes it more challenging to reach the top, because you're basically fighting a bunch of other people who are essentially doing the same. Marble says he played casual for the first 4 months, and he hasn't played for 6 months after that. I see. I downloaded Hearthstone. I played it for about 20 minutes, and actually it was more like an hour, but I lost interest very, very fast. I don't know, just really wasn't for me. I don't know. I prefer online games, and I prefer games where it's a bit more sandboxy, where I can go in and do my own thing, kill some monsters, and just generally have fun with the game. This is kind of good. Loads of monsters are getting hurt here. All the yellow numbers are me hurting the monsters. Now I need to figure out where the loot is, though. Ooh. When it's green, it means it's slightly better than when it's red. The item name... Oh, there's a lot of good stuff on this guy. Marble says he played in November, February, or something like that. He wanted to revisit it when the add-on was there, but he just didn't get to start it. And yeah, collectible card game genre is totally not my thing. I'm not really into those games. And Cirrus says, we mostly only PvP'd. The only thing in Ultima I didn't like about PvE was scripting mobs was too easy. You're right. I mean, I'm assuming when you say that scripting mobs is too easy, it's that you can set some sort of program up and it'll just fight the monsters for you. I'm not so sure that that is possible anymore in the game. I really don't know. I'm not experienced enough to be able to comment on that. Maybe someone else can answer that maybe later if more people come onto the stream. Sometimes we're really lucky and we have like really veterans that have played the game for 17 years every day. So they might actually be able to answer that question. But it feels to me like the game has changed a lot. Like boss mobs seem genuinely harder than what they used to be. The dragons, I guess, are kind of the same, but it looks like they did an overhaul to a lot of the skill stuff, making it somewhat easier to gain the skills, but fighting the actual mobs take a lot more effort. It seems to me. I mean, not what I'm doing right now. You know, this is pretty much easy mode. But some of the other things that I've seen, oops, wrong mob. Some of the other things that I've seen was pretty impressive. I mean, I saw mobs that cast spells on the player that lowered his attack speed, and then followed up with some kind of attack that would then make the player lose health if he attacked the monster. So it seems like there are some interesting teamwork or group mobs. But yeah, I can't really comment on that. You're right. I mean, in a game like World of Warcraft, which is more action-based, it feels like there's more emphasis on the team play. A lot of people here will go for like a super-duper uber build and then pretty much solo everything in the game. I don't know if there is unsoloable stuff in the game currently. I know that you'll need a lot of money to be able to kill some of those things that are like the real end game. You need really good gear and a very specific build to take on those. But I'm at a point where, you know, I can hold my own in some of the dungeons, but I can't go up against the boss, not with the gear that I'm wearing at the moment. I tried, and it's like my health just goes, and then I'm kind of dead. Yeah, Blood Oath is one of the things that I've heard people talk about, which something about taking damage when you attack them. Okay, this is basically my wooden chest where I place stuff that my imbuing character then runs over. He picks up stuff from the chest and turns it into magical items or magical components it can be so that it can be used later for imbuing. So I just need to drag all of this stuff over, and then I'll have a look at it later, because I'm imagining that, me sitting like this going, that's an interesting stat, yes, and then, moving on to the next thing, that's not really that entertaining. So for now, I'm just going to drag it all over, and then I'll have a look at it later. And also the money needs to go in either the bank or the special chest, which I have, that lets me share the money between my characters. It's a very tiny house. The teeniest of tiny houses. But it's my house. I had a quest that I picked up earlier at the library, which I was thinking about doing, but also I think it might be a little too much work to do the quest while you guys are watching, because then you'll see exactly how bad I am at questing, and I'll have to Google everything. I'll be like, hang on a sec while I tab out to check Google. Because that's one of the things in this game where I feel that... Whoa, that scared me. See, that's basically what I look like when I play scary games. All of a sudden someone in the back yells and I'm like... I think it means that they almost scored, or I don't know. And Cirrus says, I think imbuing was the last skill I worked in the game. Okay, so that was about the time when the Abyss expansion came out, the one with the gargoyles. I think that's when they added the imbuing skill to the game. I think. I haven't really done anything with the imbuing yet, though. I've just really went there with a backpack that was full, disenchanted or destroyed everything, unraveled it as it's called in this game, and then I would just log the character out again. So I really haven't done anything, but I'm looking forward to the point where I'll actually be able to find stuff and then enchant it. Find an item that has almost the stats that I want, and then be able to go there and imbue it and change the stats to something that I really, really want on my item. I think from what I've seen that it is a very, very interesting mechanic. Because you're basically able to craft an item or get an item crafted from some other player, and then have that item upgraded and really customize the stats to your needs, so that you're actually able to have a build that suits your needs. If you want resists to be at some specific point, or you want your swing speed increase to be capped or something like that. Okay, so Cirrus says he he upgraded, played for 2 weeks, and then quit again. Probably did some of the newer bosses, but not many. Yeah, I haven't done any of the newer bosses. I've done one monster on my last stream, which was it was a renowned Ratman, and he had 50,000 or so health, and a very, very veteran player was there to help me kill it. But yeah, overall, I was just a noob, pretty much getting owned. But we managed to kill it. I'm just looking at that pretty artifact, putting it here. It's kind of neat, though, that when you get an artifact, it's blessed, which means that, if you die, it stays with you through death. That's kind of cool. I wonder how rare they are. I mean, they must be sort of rare, considering that I've never seen an item drop so far in about a whole week of looting. But, again, it also could just mean that I've finally reached a point where my luck skill is working. I don't know. I probably don't even have any luck. Let's have a look. Loyalty ratings and luck, 0. Okay, I don't have any luck. From what I've heard, if you go to Felucca and fight there, you'll have a 50%, a 1,000 point luck bonus, which is kind of cool. Cirrus says, never heard of that. To Google I go. Be right back on a cell phone. Oh, cool. Cirrus is watching the stream from a mobile phone. That's cool. I'm glad that the stream is actually viewable on there. Let's see. I don't quite understand, Mobile. This outmoded system, full customizable plus tradable equipment, so boring. And then a smiley face. I'm assuming he's joking. But yeah, I mean, it makes it cool. It's really awesome where, you know, you're going out there, you kill monsters, you get loot, you can get a crafter, a good crafter to change that item for you. So essentially you can always use a crafter in this game. I guess most people will try to make their own, but stuff like that takes time. So, you know, and costs money. So the good crafters will try to team up and help each other out. Where do I want to go? I want to go to Britain to hand in this treasure map. And why didn't I just do this instead? That's a bit faster. Travel there. What's this? Oh, music. Don't want. A lot of music. Still don't want. Let's dump this treasure map here. 50 points. Whee! And what about this? Do I have any stuff here? That's fine. Alright. All my bags are ready and empty. Someone made a rune book for me with places I should check out. I might die. We'll see. He said that it would be... I should go here. Actually, I've been here to the orcs. That was, I think Tottenham just scored. Ooh, that is a lot of orcs. Scary. That was a crap load of orcs. Let me equip a Repon Slayer so that I actually deal more damage to them. Orcish Mage. Oh man, they're just everywhere. 3 seconds and I'm completely surrounded by orcs. Good thing I have a Slayer weapon and I think they all died there. What's that? Rugbu. Ooh, that might be a named guy. Or not. Okay. It seemed scary at first, but not really, because they all went down. And it seems that none of this stuff is magical. Except maybe... Is that a rat attacking? It is. Oh, it's dead. Let's check out some of these corpses. See what they're carrying. Yeast? I think I could probably do without yeast. Glowing orc corpse. A scroll! Let's loot that. Yeah, you're right, Panda. That was pretty much owned. I didn't expect them to be that easy. I kind of thought that, you know, when I teleported in and there were a bunch of orcs, it would be... Oh, I guess it's the orc cave. Ooh, that might be interesting. I asked a veteran here on the server to help me out with some locations that I could show players. So I haven't actually gone to this spot yet. I have no idea what's inside. I'm assuming it's a cave, possibly with a boss or something in there. So I'm a little bit excited to go in there and see what it is. Let's see. Here's an orc. I can challenge him. F1. I have a skill called Bushido, which makes it so that for every hit I do on a monster, I start to build up a damage bonus. Cirrus asks me, did you know the Ultima Online Facebook page linked your stream? Yes, I know, and I was very, very excited when I found out that they were willing to do that. I have to admit, I asked him first. I wrote the Facebook page and I asked him if I was allowed to tell people that I would be streaming, and he told me, sure, just send me a message and I'll notify people when that happens. So that was really cool. I was very overwhelmed by the amount of people that were there the last time. And that was pretty cool. For the most part, it was really good feedback. A lot of people that hadn't seen the game in ages came on and were like, oh my god, nostalgia! And there were even a couple of people who reactivated their accounts, which I think is really, really awesome because the game deserves it. I mean, it's just... there's just so much stuff in this game, and I mean, I haven't seen half of it. Actually, I haven't even seen like 10% of it, to be honest. So it'll be nice if more people start playing it. It deserves it. Oh, I'm attacking the wrong guy. I wonder if there is a boss somewhere inside. And more importantly, I wonder if I get myself killed on stream. Odds are, it will happen. I see a lot of monsters here. Orcish Scout. Oh, he teleports every time you hit him. Annoying. There we go. Luckily, these aren't really that strong, so I'm actually able to kill them without taking too much damage. So maybe there's a named guy in here. The respawn rate is through the roof. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's like you manage to kill one guy and then a split second later, he's there. Let's go inside, have a look. Ooh. I have to be careful. Every time I move into a new room, I'm a little bit scared. But it should be alright. For the time being, it's mostly easy things. Yeah. And Sirius says, it's still my favorite game of all time. I wish my friends would play it. They play Path of Exile now. Look at the bright side. At least they're playing Path of Exile. That's a decent game, I think. If you're into the whole Diablo roguelike, randomly generated loot fest kind of games. And I like that it has such a really, really huge passive skill tree. I heard that the patch they just came out with like a week ago, that it had a major overhaul of the skill system. So that's interesting. But yeah, I totally understand it when, there's a game you want to play, but all your friends are playing other games. It's pretty frustrating, but you can't really do much about it. It's just the way it is now with modern gamers. There's so many games to choose from, so... Hang on a sec, I gotta sneeze. Or not. Okay, I think I'm back. Hope I didn't break my mic or anything. Hopefully I managed to mute it before busting your ears. And hopefully sound is back up again. Oh my god, Tottenham is owning. If any of you guys are watching football, I apologize. I didn't mean to spoil the match. My girlfriend's in the back going, go, 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 she's like super excited. And Panda says people are going to be back soon and in greater numbers. I hope so, but honestly, I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't think that Ultima Online is a game that is really geared for many players anymore. I mean, as far as I understand, everything is open world. I've seen that they've done some instanced loots on bosses, which is a good thing. You know, like 2 people kill the boss and 2 people can loot separate things from the boss without having to physically share it. But it's just not one of these games where new players come in and they'll be like, wow, this game is awesome, let me play that all by myself. It's not going to happen. This is a game where you really need to have friends in order to have fun in it. I mean, you can play solo, but it's so important to have a network of people that you can play with. Oh man, monsters! Good thing I have Vampiric Embrace, so in case I get poisoned, I basically, it cures itself because I'm half vampire or something like that. Cirrus asks, is English Denmark's national language? You speak it better than I do, and I'm from the United States of America. No, thank you, first of all. Thank you very much for that compliment. I appreciate it. No, the national language in Denmark is Danish, in a non-pastry kind of way. It's kind of like Swedish and Norwegian, kind of. The language, that is. So, no. I think for me it's just been a case of practicing, watching a lot of other people speaking, and then slowly, also I'm 36 years old, so I've had many years of practice, and that helps. And I love languages. I speak many different languages and understand many more. Oh, I see. I totally misunderstood what Panda said earlier. They'll soon be back and in greater numbers. That was a reference to Star Wars, and it was referred to on the in the spawn rate. In case you don't remember, I think it was Obi-Wan Kenobi who says that to Luke Skywalker after the, I don't even recall what they were called. The guys that have the weird goggles and sound funny, and they were like when they killed or not killed, but when they knocked Luke Skywalker down, they were like making those noises. I don't know, they were riding a bantha maybe? That's bad. I'm kind of a Star Wars fan and I don't remember. I guess they were called the Sand People. But yeah. Master Obi-Wan Kenobi says they'll be back. They'll soon be back and in greater numbers. I apologize for getting that reference wrong. It's actually really bad because I should know better. But it's kind of cool though that we have someone in the channel who remembers. Nah, they weren't Javas. The Jawas were the little guys with the droids. The ones that were like, Uchini! And saying stuff like that. Oh man, that mage is just hammering me with lightning bolts. And Cirrus says, I'm 35 and I don't think I'm smart enough to learn a second, but I'd love to learn Korean or Chinese. Yeah, those are good languages, I think, for the way that things are moving in today's world. I think it'll be good to know one of those languages. Oof. I heard sounds that sounded like I was taking a lot of damage, but I wasn't. That's good. I'm really bad at looting when there's a ton of stuff in one spot. And Panda says bingo! Which means that I nailed it. Well, maybe not in the first attempt, but I kinda nailed it. I tried to nail it. I'll nail it next time. Corpse Skin. That's a necromancer spell. Ooh. I get scared when I see flying projectiles and stuff, because today I took away all of my resist spell skill and put it in a soul stone in my house. And now the back of my mind is like, oh noes, you know, every time I meet a spellcaster, I'm sure I'm gonna miss my resist magic thing, but I guess I probably won't. Let's move over here and check out. I mean, there might be some sort of boss if I move further in. There might also be a can of whoop-ass waiting for my face. So I should be careful. Ah, speaking of face, itching. Ooh, I wonder... What, is there a sign? Stone rail. Oh, he's shooting stuff at me. Let's kill this guy. Every time I attack something, I get 20% of the damage back as health. So, I'm basically... This is one of these builds where if you're hurt, you need to go hit something. Oh, I just used this silly thing actually, which lowers my defense. But that's okay. I'll deal more damage. Whirlwind. So, for those of you who have played this game before, do you know this place? I mean, it's a cave, which apparently seems to house a bunch of orcs, and I don't remember seeing stuff like this in '98. You know, the mines or the caves were usually used by miners. You know, you'd run through a cave and you'd see a gajillion people hacking away at the mine walls, and they were all naked because, you know, why would I want to wear pants that weigh 1 stone when I can just go naked and then carry more? That seemed to be the rule of thumb for miners when I played the game. I haven't seen a naked person so far, so I'm actually kind of pleased with that. But back in the day, back in '98, everyone was naked and hacking away at the mountains, and you'd see ghosts everywhere too. It was like you'd see letter O on your screen, and you'd know that either this person had gotten killed by someone or there were PKers nearby. An orc brute. I think he actually hurts a lot and returns damage as far as I know. Or not. Let's see. I need to focus for a moment here, just to be sure that I don't get killed. Okay, I'm not gonna get killed. He does hit very hard, though. I think it's him. I'm not entirely sure. The last one of these brutes that I killed, he had some dark or shadow ore on him, so it'll be interesting. Oh yeah, 25 shadow iron. Ooh, and a bow, which is a poison elemental slayer and primarily does physical, fire, and water / cold damage. Cool. Not really too interested in the other things. I could pick up the ore, but I would have to head back and deposit it very soon, which would be boring. So I'm just gonna leave it, because I can't craft with the shadow iron anyway. Maybe someone I know can, but I can't. Oh, he's already charging towards me. Let's get him killed. What does this do? Blade weave. Oh, let me try that. I don't know what it does, but it looks fancy. Oh, he's dead. Basically, my number 1 and number 2 ability here are linked to the weapon that I'm currently using. At some point in the development, they decided that all characters that are melee should have something to spend their mana on. So they basically designed this system where, let me see, where is it? Character abilities. They designed this system where every weapon would have, or every fighting style would have 2 abilities, a primary and a secondary. And the weapon that I'm currently using, which is a one-handed sword of some sort. Let's see. It's a Radiant Scimitar. Primary ability is Whirlwind, and secondary ability is Blade Weave. But, you know, I had another sword which had primary ability Armor Ignore, which would then deal full damage, pretty much. Oh, let's see if I can get him. Okay. So now a lot of the emphasis on your playstyle is also put on what kind of weapon you're using. Because if you use a weapon that has armor ignore, then maybe you're better off going against monsters with really high armor. But you could also get around the really high armor by making a weapon that dealt non-physical damage. You could have a weapon that, instead of dealing the 100% physical, as you see on the shield below where it says damage per second, it says 100% on a shield, which means that all of the damage this weapon deals is physical. Hey, welcome back, Merble. Oh, a lot of people are off and on. Did the stream cut out? No, it didn't. Oh well. Um, yeah, so you could change this weapon or any weapon to be like 100% fire damage, and it would just work a lot better against monsters that... Ooh, an Ogre Slayer Scepter. That's cute, but also crap. So there's so many possibilities with the gear, you know. It's like you almost need a specific set of gear for pretty much all mobs in the game or areas in the game. And to me that's kind of interesting, the way that a well-prepared player is going to have a lot of success and a lot of fun with this game, whereas someone who just doesn't really pay attention to what they're doing is going to have a lot harder time. I've had situations where I didn't pay attention. You know, I'd jump into the middle of things and realize that the monsters were just way too strong for me. Interesting. An earth elemental area in the middle of the orc cave. Let's pop back up here and have a look and see what we have here. Orc bombers. A rock. Okay, so this was a kind of a small zone, so to speak. I'll try to go this way and check out, because I think I saw like a passageway here. Does that one lead? No, it doesn't. Oh well. So this is it? Oh, that sucks. Merble says, if you wonder about my leave and rejoin, I had to quit Flash Player so that I can get it to full screen on my TV. Oh, awesome. I'm on the television now. That's pretty cool. Ah, they went down fast. Ooh, but my anatomy went up. It's now 75%. For those of you who don't know, anatomy skill is used in healing when you're using bandages, but it will also increase your damage with melee weapons. So that's very, very useful. As far as I know, I think 100 points of anatomy is going to give you an increase of about 20% damage. So this is one of these things that most people will tell me is really, really vital to a melee character. And also tactics will increase the damage. And yes, I'm on television. At least I'm on Merble's television, which is kind of cool. Ooh. He had a lot of regions, which is kind of cool because he was like a bomber character. He would throw magical bombs or something at me. So the regions that he had were related to offensive spellcasting. So you loot those and you basically have enough regions for like 6 or 8 fireballs or something similar. And he had a potion as well for a lesser explosion potion, which is kind of like a hand grenade. I was really impressed with those originally when I played Ultima Online. A lot of players would use them, I remember. You know, they would throw these bombs, and you'd see a little potion on the ground and a number counting like 3, 2, 1, and then AoE explosion. And Merble says he popped out the chat, so now he sees more while he can do some Guild Wars 2 stuff and get to the chat quickly by tabbing, and he can read it well. Cool. That's awesome. So, how have you reached a high level now in Guild Wars 2, or have you switched to a different character? That is my question for you, Merble, because I know that you are very much an altaholic, and you tend to get bored with the game quickly. So it's interesting to see exactly how far you've made it into Guild Wars 2. Last time I talked to you, you were playing a what was it, a warrior? And then you were gonna play an elementalist after that? Oh, I need to focus now. This guy kinda hits hard. Why am I not hitting? There we go. Whammo. Okay, Merble says, my elementalist is now level 20, and I thought I may wait for Hunzago, who's level 19. Oh, that's a good idea. Hunzago is another one of our viewers here. He comes here every now and then. And he plays Guild Wars 2 as well. It took him roughly 4 days to pick his class, which was pretty amusing because he was here on the stream and complaining that he couldn't figure out which class to play. My response would be, play Ultima Online and you don't have to pick a class. But that would just be seen as a taunt. So I'm not going to do that. Although I will say it, I'm going to do it. Play Ultima Online. One hit. These are a bit too weak. I need more of these orc brutes. Maybe I can go in here. Or not. Nope, can't. Maybe there's somewhere in here that will lead to some other place. No, it doesn't look like it. I'm gonna teleport out, and then I can pick a different place to explore. Let's see, Merble says, because we wanted to play together, but I was too fast and he couldn't decide between Human Guardian, Norn Guardian, Human Warrior, or I think he has another warrior. And Merble's warrior is level 48. Panda says he played Guild Wars 2 for a year, but his MMOing was in decline well before that. He played World of Warcraft for 5 years, Ultima Online for 10 years before that, and he played a little bit of Star Wars The Old Republic and a few others, and these days he's very busy with work. Yeah, I think that's basically how it is, at least for a lot of Ultima Online players. You know, they've ooh, I need to fix my webcam. They've played a lot of games, and now work just kind of takes over. You can't really play for 12 hours at a time anymore. Hang on a sec, it's gonna be a few moments while I get this cam sorted. I didn't realize that it had gotten so dark outside that I need to adjust the lighting. Let me know if it starts to blink. It shouldn't. Right now the weather seems to be stable. I've set it to something called right light, which basically auto adjusts the lighting on my webcam. And Merble says says that the guy he plays with has pretty much all of his characters at level 15 in Guild Wars 2. It's kind of weird, but he understands it. I'm probably one of these people that don't understand it because I'm just not into alts at all. I would prefer a game like Ultima Online where I could just level up every single one of my skills to max. But I also see a problem with that because then everyone would end up being in the strongest of strong places, no one would really need each other anymore because they could do everything. So I think it's good. Yeah, it's funny. Panda says growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional, and that's actually what someone told me the other day at work because my boss was talking about my T-shirts. I'm always wearing some sort of superhero comic book related T-shirt, and my boss was like, "You're always wearing these kind of childish clothes or something like that," and then, oops, game just crashed. Darn it. Oh well, hang on a second. I'm just gonna get that sorted. That was very, very strange. For some reason, the game decided to just poof disappear. I did an error message. I don't think I've ever tried that before, but let's see if I can get me logged into the game real fast. Boom, 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 boom. And there we go. Europa. And this guy. Okay. Let's see if I can try that again without crashing. That was unexpected. Merble says your PC is too old. Your PC is too old or low spec for Ultima Online. Get over it. Yeah. Yeah, luckily it isn't. I would cry if I had a PC that couldn't play this game. I mean, I'm just waiting for when I can play this game on a tablet or a mobile phone. Because, I mean, it should be doable. I've seen other MMOs that look kind of like World of Warcraft did at launch, and they play on a mobile phone. Literally real-time quest-based MMOs that you can play those. That's pretty impressive, at least for me. Let's dump all of this stuff into this bag. Scrolls go in this bag. There. No. Actually, I wasn't even thinking of Albion Online, but you're right. I mean, that's going to be one of these games that will be playable on a mobile phone as well, and it'll be pretty cool when that time comes. But no, I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of other games in the future, because I think the MMO player has reached a point now where the game doesn't really have to have super ultra good graphics. The gameplay is a lot more important. At least for me, it is. I'm more focused on good gameplay, stuff to do in game. What's this? Broken equipment. Oh no. Well, it's not broken, but it's kind of getting there. What's broken? My plate mail tunic. Let's see. It has stamina increase, mana increase, and lower mana cost. So, should be possible to get that one repaired from someone. If not, I know, you know what? I know where to go, where I could buy a deed and then have it repaired instead. I think I need to go to this place, Luna. And yeah, Merble says, let Albion be released and Hearthstone for Android, and I'll get a tablet. I don't know if I'll want to play a full loot PvP game on a tablet. I don't know. I feel on the computer I have more control, but yeah. Panda says he would be homeless in days if he had Ultima Online on a mobile. Oh man. In that case, don't get it on a mobile. In that case, in fact, don't play it. I don't want anyone to be homeless. That would suck. But yeah, I mean, that I wouldn't say I was close to being homeless, but I really spent a lot of time. Oops, let me zoom in a little bit so that it doesn't look as bad when I'm moving. There we go. When I played EverQuest, that was probably the MMO where I spent the most time. I would basically I would come home from work at like 3 or 4 p.m. I would go to bed and wake up at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and then get ready to do raiding with an American guild until 6 or 7 p.m. and then I would go straight to work, and that was pretty much 7 days a week. And I've sworn that I'm never gonna do that again. That's just it's no good. Playing games like that is gonna it'll break your life, break your spirit. I did it for flashing cam. Oh no, it's because of the sun. The sun has decided to come back. I'm gonna have to fix the webcam and just leave it at static. Configure. Let's just leave it at this. Oops. Let's turn this auto gain off. Let's just make it a little bit brighter in case it decides to get dark. And thank you. By the way, thanks for telling me. Hang on a sec. I need to clear my throat. I have a frog in there. And I'm back. Hopefully. My girlfriend and I, we were at a birthday which was being held outside yesterday, and both of us sat, and we're kind of cold. So when I woke up this morning, I felt like I had a frog in my throat, and I really, really don't. I hope that it won't affect the rest of the stream too much. Merble says he doesn't want the PvP parts to be played mobile, I guess. But let's see if there is some little things to do in safe zones or so. He just needs an MMO where he can live in. And that's kind of that's the same feeling I have, you know. I want an MMO where on days when I don't really feel like playing hardcore or playing a lot, I can just log in and say hello to people. Marvel says, I'm curious, what sounds are you making when you drink that you have to mute yourself? I guess just normal sounds, but I don't know. I don't like to hear other people eat or drink, so I just mute my mic whenever I do that, just to be certain that I don't creep anyone out. I'm just gonna check this shop out because, oh, I need to move my web window here. There we go, so I can see the chat. They added something called talismans to the game, and apparently they go into this slot. And some of them look really cool for crafting. Let's see if I can find one that has bonuses for crafting. This one, for instance, it has its inscription exceptional bonus, 18%, and then inscription bonus, 14%. So basically, you can get an item like this, place it over here in your talisman slot, and it will increase your chances of successfully crafting. So, Merble says he's thought about this for like 2 weeks. Well, I can assure you that my drinking sounds are fairly normal. Here, let me give it a try. I always finish up with a sound because that just makes it sound almost like it's better water. It's just regular water though, but the makes it better. I really want to buy one of these now that I have enough money for it. Some of them seem weird though, like 16% extra damage to bulls. No, I'll mute it anyway, just in case. That way I could also like burp or something if I need to. 67% more damage to bulls. Never mind. It's not really interesting. Seems like a lot of this is crafting based. But ooh, summoners. What does that mean? Mere mage protection. No idea what that means. I guess it means that you have better protection against the mere mage, which might be a named mob or something. Mungbat killer, 93% damage to mungbats because, you know, In case you didn't kill it in one hit. Now you will, maybe. Ratman Shaman Killer and Giant Ice Serpent Protection. So it's really interesting. I mean, I haven't found any of these as drops yet myself, but like, if I was having trouble in that other place I was at with the Orc Lords, I could use something like this, which has 43% Orc Lord protection. I'm assuming that it will basically make it so that I take 43% less damage from orcs. Maybe. Who knows? Lava Snake Killer. Orc Scout. Oh, who's there? It's Lady Arduina. Hello there, Lady Arduina. Let's see. Glass blowing. Is there actually a skill for that? Lady Arduina says, "Are you doing all right?" Question mark. And my response is, "Yes, I am. Thank you. I am currently streaming. So you're now live on the internets. How are you doing?" Yeah, that's true. Merble says, well, okay, when I watched your stream in the beginning, I thought you could die of thirst and asked after a few days if you drank enough. So, yeah, it's better that I mute and just drink when I'm muted. Hello, Stinkfist, and welcome to the channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. Which leads me to an important question. I'm curious, Stinkfist. What is your fondest memory in an MMO? We've all shared our stories. Now it's your turn. I've played so many MMOs that I don't know. It's awesome. I get that feeling of nostalgia when I hear someone who talks about some game that I played at one time. It's like the body kind of remembers and brings back that feeling of joy of being a noob in a game. I don't know. I just really like that. And in a moment, we're gonna get Lady Arduina as well on the stream, who is the owner of this shop that I'm currently browsing. I don't know why. I come here every day and I check out the store. I don't know. I just like to look at stuff here. It's kind of neat. All right. Bon appetit, Merble. Enjoy your food. But most of this is like way out of my league in terms of prices. I guess it's all super rare. Super. Ooh, this one's actually kind of neat. It's a crystal portal. And it's one of these things that you can pick once you've played the game for a year and paid for it. You can pick this crystal portal, and when you place it in your house, you can then say Britain or some other name of a town, and it'll teleport you there. So that's a neat thing for people. Oh, Stinkfist says he's currently macroing in Ultima Online Forever. So is that the mobile Ultima Online, or is it the Ultima Online Forever server, the free shard? And what are you macroing? More importantly, what skill are you going for? Yay! Thanks for the follow. Awesome, and welcome to Lifestyles. Welcome to the channel. Right now, we're curious to hear what skill Stinkfist is currently macroing. Ooh, that will be cool. Lifestyle says, looks like me and my buddy will be joining you in Albion. Haven't heard much about it, mostly around Ultima Online community. Yeah. And Stinkfist says he's playing on a free shard. Cool. Now, more importantly, what are you macroing? What skill are you going for, Stinkfist? So yeah, lifestyles. I really haven't heard a lot of the game. I've looked at videos. I've explored. And I've messaged the developers of the game and asked them if I was allowed to live stream from the game when it's released. Not released. When it goes alpha. And they said yes. So I'm really, really looking forward to being able to stream from that game when that time comes, because it seemed like a great Ultima Online-ish kind of game. It's not going to replace Ultima Online for me, but it will definitely... Ooh, I'm hiding behind this house. It will definitely be something that I would like to invest some time in, especially since you'll be able to play it from your mobile phone. I'd like to craft in that game. And Orbit Shift, welcome, welcome to the channel. He says, love to see Ultima Online streams. Thanks for this. And I'm glad. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you. Let's see. Originally, I wanted to find a deed. That's what I came for. See, I get kind of confused sometimes. I talk and I forget why I went here. But the thing is, this thing here shows the durability of my gear, and my tunic is close to breaking. So what I wanted to do was go to Lady Arduina's shop and buy a deed so that I could have my gear repaired. Hello, Lady Arduina. I was just talking about you. I was looking for a smith repair. Here it is. So this one is 100 gold. Let's buy that. You have agreed to purchase an item without description. Okay. Let's see. A repair service contract from a legendary blacksmith. So I think now... Lady Arduina says my ears were ringing. And yeah, Lifestyle says, no way Ultima Online was my first, but Albion does look good. This shard is the European shard. It's an official server, a European one. And I'm playing with the enhanced client. So the graphics are different from what most people are used to, but I've heard from a lot of people that they would like a nostalgic view on Ultima Online again. So I'm thinking maybe on Tuesday I'll have the classic client installed, and I'll try to play it with the classic client, which will probably make me look really silly. Let's see. I'm gonna need to teleport back to Britain because I can't find my way in this city. And then I'm gonna run this way. I'm gonna head to the blacksmith because I want the blacksmith to repair my gear. Or try to repair my gear. And let's see, Orbit Shift says, as someone who has never played an official Ultima Online server after 2003, can you tell me if the true rares of my day, item blessed deeds, phoenix armor, map tiles, etc., still hold their uber rare status today? That would be a question that Lady Arduina can answer, because I'm actually a bit of a noob in this game. I played back in the days, but I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah. I don't think that item blessed deeds are... I don't know if they're rare. I mean, they're kind of good because instead of insuring your item, like you'll press here and then click toggle item insurance, and then let's say I want to insure this item, then that'll cost me something from my bank. It'll cost some gold in case I die, but then it won't disappear. So I guess if it's a really good item, you'd want to bless it rather than insure it, but I really don't know if it's rare. I'm assuming that Lady Arduina can answer that. And Lady Arduina says item deeds were included in the Britain cleanup rewards. And for those who don't know, the Britain cleanup reward system is basically a system where there are chests near all the banks. You toss magical and good stuff into those chests, and as a reward you get points, and those points you can spend to buy cool things. And Lifestyles, sorry, actually Stinkfist says Ultima Online Classic for life! And then, you know, gang signs and all kinds of stuff. I don't know gang signs, so the closest to gang signs for me is like the Madonna Vogue, and that's really not the same. So let's move on. Lifestyle says, phew, that'll be a throwback, and cool. Played official back in 97, 98 on my old 33.6K modem because he couldn't afford sorry, I'm laughing. He couldn't afford a 56K sorry, I'm still laughing. I mean, it's kind of funny. You're playing an MMO on a 33.6K modem because you couldn't afford a 56K modem. Oh man. I had a 56K modem, and I wasn't very old. I had to bug my parents to be allowed to install an extra phone line in my room because I hated that I couldn't play until 9 p.m. in the evening. I was like, I don't know, 15, 16, or 18 or something. And Lady Arduina says, as for Phoenix armor, those are still rare. Orbit Shift says, yes, Lady Arduina, they were. Phoenix armor were also part of the cleanup, if I'm not mistaken. And then Lady Arduina says, hey, Tasty, there's a smith and a tailor shop in Luna. But I don't like Luna. I can't find my way there, so I went here instead. I'm not really am I supposed to like double click this thing here? Target an item to repair. What was it? It was my tunic. Let's see, here's my tunic. You repair the item. Oh, was it that easy? It was that easy. I should have bought some more. Awesome! That was easy! And Stinkfist says he had a dial-up as well. And, original parent trolling. Picking up the phone while gaming. My parents did that all the time, and they were like, oops, I didn't realize you were gaming. Mom, don't you know me? It's all I do, you know? I'm like, I get home, I go to my room, I game. Parents. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that anymore. And Stinkfist says he would lose connection every time someone picked up the phone. Yeah. And Orbit says, man, I remember going from 56K to DSL right around the time Ultima Online Renaissance was getting hugely popular. What a difference. Exactly. And today we're like, some people are on 100 megabit download connections, and it's just, it's crazy, you know. The internet has changed massively. Stinkfist says he used to toggle the phone handle to knock his parents off so they would think the internet was out and he could play. Ooh, clever. That was actually pretty clever. I didn't do that. I just asked my parents if they would sign the papers so that a minor would be allowed to have a phone line in their room, and I paid for it myself. Because I had a job at the time. I went to school, I went to work, and I played games. And that was basically my life. At the time. Hang on a second, it's the same now. I work at a school, so I basically go to school and work, and then I go home and play games. And sometimes I hang out with my girlfriend. Actually, I hang out with my girlfriend every day, but since we live together, it's kind of one of these things you can't really avoid. I'm hoping she's still wearing headphones in the back, otherwise she's going to throw a shoe at me or something. The weather is really changing at the moment, so let me just go in there and brighten my day a bit with the webcam. Let's increase the gain a little bit. There we go. Better. At least it's not as dark as it was before. And let's get back and listen to that nice music from Ultima Online. Are my bags full? No. And no. Awesome. Well, I'm kind of ready to go out and hunt again. Oh, and here's a little warning from Lady Arduina. Sometimes the repair deeds fail even though they're made by a legendary character. Oh man. And Orbit Shift's dad was so pissed that he went to the store and bought microfilters for each phone so the calls wouldn't boot us off. Oh. So, did your dad play games as well, Orbit Shift? Was he a gamer? Because I would assume that would be why. Or maybe not necessarily a gamer, but he would be using the internet. Let's see. I want to go somewhere and kill something, he said. That would be me. I said that. This is my little teeny tiny house, in case no one knew. Looks like the team that my girlfriend is rooting for is winning. In case you can hear the goal sounds in the back, she is a massive football fan. See, I bought one of these, a soul stone. So I put my resist spells into that. And I haven't yet decided what I should level up instead, but I know that I want chivalry high, anatomy high, parrying high, and lifestyle says, ooh, look at Mr. Richie Rich, Mr. Richie Rich with your small house. I'm not rich by any stretch. In fact, 95% of the money that I have was donated to me by Lady Arduina. So I'm not really rich. And I haven't spent it. I gave 500,000 of those that I got to Lord Dar because he gave me this entire set of armor as well as weapons. And then next day when I went and met Lord Dar, he was like, oh hi, I was just busy farming money because I spent so much on your gear. And I was feeling really bad, so I tried to give some of it back. Let's see, Orbit Shift says, not really. So Orbit Shift's dad was not a gamer. He thinks between his mom raging when AOL would get disconnected and Orbit Shift probably crying when he got kicked, dead, and dry looted. Yeah, I guess that Orbit Shift's dad was getting a bit tired of the family whining every time the internet went down. And Stinkfist says, recall macro for the win. Silly PKs. Yeah, but it's kind of hard to pop your recall macro when you lost connection to the internet. Which is, it's one of these things that I experienced as well when I was playing Ultima Online back in '98. It was like, oh no, there's a red name, and then I would try to run, and then half the time my connection would suck, and I'd come back and I was dead, and I was like, nee. Because back then I didn't know that you could have blessed anything, and all my gear was basically gone every time I died. So I was a bit of a crybaby. I'm a little tempted to maybe, I don't know. I want to go to Felucca, which is PvP, but I really don't want to get killed. So I think that's a bad idea. And also I don't know where to hunt. So I think I'm going to go to this place, which I have never been in, and check it out. Let's go to this place, Honor. We'll see what it's like. I have no idea. I hope I don't die the instant I land here. Maybe some of you guys can tell me what's here. I went to Ilshinar, I think it's called, and I went to Honor. Oh, that's a corpse there. Those I can kill. I'm walking really careful. Even though this isn't a PvP area, I'm still like a little bit excited. I don't know what's here. I don't know what to expect. It looks like a jungle of some sort. Is that a player house? The Deuce's Vinculum Inn. Does question of the day answer have to be an in-game moment? I will explain in the following comment. No, it doesn't. I mean, it can pretty much be anything related to an MMO. I mean, it might even be you showing up in a store and looking for your corpse by mistake, or dreaming about trying to find and recover your corpse after having died in an MMO. You know, pretty much anything goes. Am I using my Respawn Slayer? I am. I'll just honor this troll and then kill him with my Respawn Slayer. Woohoo! Or not, because I'm not really hitting. There we go. Oh! There are paragons in Ilshinar, and they're a bit harder than regular monsters. And Stinkfist says that if I go to Justice, it will have Cyclopses, Cyclopi, I don't know, Cyclopses, and Titans. Cyclopses and Titans. Cyclopi, I don't know, Cyclopi, I don't know, Cyclopses, Cyclopses, and Titans. Cyclopses, Cyclopses, and Titans. Cyclopi, I don't know, Cyclopses, and Titans. Cyclopses, and Titans. That'll be interesting. For now, I'm gonna... Ooh, there's a Paragon Gorilla! I wonder if he will destroy me in 2 seconds, because he does run kind of fast. Okay, he doesn't have that many hit points. Oh, okay. He's very easy. I would have expected him to be, like, super awesome. I just killed my first Paragon mob! Yay! He has a banana. That's actually a little bit disappointing. I would have expected more than a banana from you, gorilla. I'm gonna eat it. Nom nom nom. But that's cool. Okay, so now I know that they're not really that dangerous. Here's a gazer. They cast spells. Die. Whee. Yeah, you're laughing, Lady Arduina. You're laughing, but, you know, I was expecting to find cool stuff. Not just a banana. Oh, you can get Paragon chests from them. That's nice. He said, without knowing what a Paragon chest is. So, is that something you will need a specific skill to open? Oh, Stinkfist says, Despise lower level 1 has Ettins and Elementals. And, yeah, the loot depends. Yeah. Orbit Shift asks if you can still play this game on the Classic client, and yes, you absolutely can. I know that Lady Arduina is playing it on the Classic client, as far as I know. Pretty much everyone I've met plays the Classic client. Oh, I need lockpicking to open the chest. Okay. So will I be able to bring a chest back and have someone else help me open it? Maybe? Because... And yes, the dungeons have changed a lot. Most of the dungeons have revamped. And as far as I know, they plan on implementing like a special loot system to pretty much every dungeon. But they're doing it one at a time. I'm not really oh, there's some sort of building blood. Ooh. Murderers and their mages. Okay, so I'm gonna need to go for the mage first. Oh no, he disappeared. Charge! Oh, one-shot it. Oh, he cast something on me. Feeble Mind, let's get rid of that. Pling! And gone it is. I'll focus a bit more on the chat in a moment, as soon as I'm sure that I don't get owned by these monsters here. I tend to get a little bit distracted once I go to a new area because I'm all excited about the possibilities, the adventure, and the bananas. Mostly the bananas. Actually, I like the adventure. It would be a lot more fun if more people were here, I mean, in the game, adventuring with me. Kelnos, the mage. Oh, he's a paragon, but he yelled, "Serve us!" Sorry. Yikes. Oh, serve us, not save us. My bad. Oh wait, she hurt. I don't want to die. Should be able to take her out. There we go. Ooh, 2 paragons and a mage. I don't want the mage to start nuking me in the middle of everything. Let's do a whirlwind and get some of these out of the way. There we go. Actually, it wasn't even a whirlwind. It was some sort of magic-y sword thing. Alright, I should be good to go now. So, Stinkfist says, I may have to join you so we can farm mobs and get you out of that homeless shelter you call a house. I shouldn't even be laughing, but it was actually really funny. I like my homeless shelter, but you're absolutely right. I really should get a bigger, better house. But I kind of like that it's not too complicated. It's like it's okay to have a really crappy teeny tiny house and not decorate it. Once you get a larger house, you are not allowed to have